90s, Balkans, Serbia. When the bombing started, it was scary. Tomahawk missile, and everything is shaking. You see the airplanes fighting, you hear the sounds. You froze when you hear the sirens, you know. Serbians against Croats, Croats against Serbians, Serbians against Muslims, Muslims against Croats, Croats against themselves in different factions, Muslims against themselves in different factions, and total madness. Hatred exploded. I was born in a big family. My mother was a Christian believer, but my father was a communist. It was kind of interesting mix. We grew up in one typical neighborhood, New Belgrade, in a very high apartment building. And then the war started, and it was totally different than probably the most of teenagers experiencing their lives. We had the common things of falling in love and stuff, but still we had civil war in our country. I have friends who were shot. I have friends who were raped. And it is reality. In the whole city, the years to be like tough. So I followed the pattern, and I wanted to be tough, which led me into many dangerous situations of fighting with different people. I had a group of friends, and the idea was to organize like a gang and to lead it into different activities. At one point, I purchased a weapon, which was in the black market for a cheap price. But my mother, she beat me heavily when she found the gun beneath my bed. It was horrible. Basically, our income was coming from the black market trade because it was oil embargo. We would trade oil with Romania. We would go and smuggle it. We would buy a whole bag of hormonal steroids for like 10 bucks. Also, it was very, very good money to smuggle cigarettes. Basically, I was, in the eyes of the others, very successful person who can find its way around. We were doing many different stuff which were on the line of legacy. Some were illegal totally, some were legal. So in one big crisis, they arrested me. I was in the prison cell, man, and I was rethinking of my life. What I'm doing here, what is the meaning of the life? In the midst of that agony, I was in prison cell and I read a small, tiny sentence on the wall. It said, "Jesus Christ, only you love us sinners and have the power to save us. Please save us, save me." Basically, all my life I believed that there is a God. In my early childhood and when I was a kid, every night I was going to sleep, I was reading Bible stories. I believed in Jesus, I believed in all basic truths, but in the depths of my heart there was incredible emptiness. There was incredible cry for meaning. Okay, there is God, but is He interested in me? Is He really looking after me, or is He only interested, I thought at the time, in a good behaving religious Christian people? That's why I broke down, and that's why I cried out to God. God saved me. I decided in that moment to follow Him. That was the new meaning of my life. The love of God is healing me personally and reconciling parts of my personality. Right now, I'm in a process where I have to decide to cut off some practice I was involved with, and to devote myself to one person. My greatest struggle in my life is with my relationship with women. It is hard to me to not have sex with them. One part of me wants to have nice spiritual relationship. Another part wants to have sex with her immediately. That is my struggle with in my life, my sexual life. But the love of God is there. God loves me still when I make a mistake. If we fall, that doesn't mean that we will never walk again. The love of God is the love of a different kind. And you realize that living in the hardships, in the difficult situation, when there is a war. I'm scared sometimes when I go to the fighting areas to talk to people, to reconcile them. Of course, the bombs are falling around, there's bullets are passing a few meters. I went to Albanian neighborhood just to meet some Albanians, to talk to them, to see what's going on, to encourage them, to tell them that this is madness. I shared my life with them, they accepted me, I accepted in the midst of the fighting. That's why I have friends all over the world, across the very difficult ethnic groups. A true leader, servant leader, which is the purpose of leadership. The purpose of power is not to rule. The purpose of power is to serve. It's amazing with God that He's making possible new beginnings. When you have this perspective and you have the love of God in your heart, then you can, in this dangerous situation, where probably not every normal person would go, have this situation of love and bridge building, friendships making. The same love which is healing the war-torn areas and reconciling people is healing me personally in my personal problems and personal struggles. Everything is possible for those who love Jesus, man.